Namaste. My name is Susan, and for the last 3 years I've been bringing brain yoga to my students at the RYT Yoga Studio here in Whangarei during Brain Awareness Week. This year is no different. However, this year we're going to call it Jane's Brain Yoga. Jane is a member of my family, and she has a condition called a brain AVM. It's a very rare condition, and simply put, if you imagine this hand is my arteries and this hand is my veins that are going into my brain, they join together and there is no capillaries. Generally in the brain there is capillaries that take the blood to the various areas of the brain. However, in Jane's situation they don't. And they have not only do they not have capillaries, but they have formed a mass, a little tangled mass of like noodles, if you like, in her brain. Some very skilled surgeons are going to be operating on her shortly. This is a fatal condition if it's left. However, there is hope through drugs and through surgery that this can be removed, and she will live what we hope to be a normal life. So today we're going to be doing some brain yoga that is a little bit different from the yoga that I've taught in the past. In the past I have included inversions, such as standing on the head or preparations for standing on the head, headstand, handstand and that kind of thing. This is very good for a healthy brain. However, it isn't good if you do have something such as a brain AVM. So you do need to check if you are doing these kinds of things with your doctor. If you have any doubt about whether you have high blood pressure and are prone to strokes or aneurysms, or you have something like a brain AVM. If you look it up on the internet, you'll find some very interesting information about it. But for now, I'm just going to take you through Jane's Brain Yoga. So welcome to the Brain Yoga Awareness Week for 2015. I'm starting this class the way I would start most of my classes, with just some gentle breathing and stretching. So just for now, just come into your normal standing posture. We call this samasthiti, where you're standing with your middle toes basically directly under your hips, your shoulders over your hips. Just let your limbs relax and just gently rock through the feet, feeling the sides, the backs, the toes, and go in the other direction. When you feel nicely grounded and the soul is having a nice connection with the earth beneath you, then start to gently just pull up through all of the joints and let your body soften. Now, working with the breath, on an inhalation we're going to raise our arms up, and exhaling we're going to take the arms back down. We're going to repeat this 3 times. Don't work with my breath. Work with your breath. Always work with your breath. Your breath is as unique to you as your fingerprint. So when you are ready, start to breathe in, and following the in-breath, start to raise your arms into the full stretch. Exhaling. first part of our brain yoga for today is going to be working through the breath again. We're going to be doing something that some of you will know called the ha breath. However, we're going to be doing it a little bit differently. We're going to be including some acupressure points that are good for the brain. So we're going to be starting by putting our fingers together and feeling for that place in our jaw, around about where the jaw articulates or opens. You'll have to open your mouth like I'm doing to find it, and when you've found it, put the hands there. You can massage it a little bit. Close your mouth, standing in Samasthiti. You're going to breathe in and stretch through your whole body, and then as you breathe out, you're going to open your mouth, tongue and eyes out, and you're going to breathe out gently. I'm going to demonstrate now. Now we're all going to do it together. So again, bring the fingertips up to the jaw, massage the area, feel it. Breathing in, we're going to do 3 rounds like I just demonstrated. Just relax. If you feel dizzy or nauseous when you're practicing your pranayama or you're breathing in yoga, it's because you're taking in lots of oxygen. Maybe you're not used to breathing in this way. Once your body becomes accustomed to it, the nauseous or dizzy or headachy feeling will go away and you'll feel quite different. Now we're going to do something called the B breath. Again, we're going to be using a pressure point that's different for the normal B breath. When we do our normal B breath, we actually block off the ears to create or to be aware of the vibration that's happening in our head as we're breathing out. With B breath, we breathe in through the nose and we hum out. Today we're not blocking off the ears. We're using our fingertips and our thumbs to touch the top of the ears, which have pressure points in relation to the brain. Gently just massaging here. I'm going to demonstrate 3 breaths and then we're all going to do it together. when we finish our practice, we just come back to relaxation. We're going to do this together again, and you might have noticed that I closed my eyes. Now, only close your eyes if you feel comfortable closing your eyes. If your balance is a little bit shaky, then don't close your eyes. Focus your eyes rather on something directly in front of you that's not moving. So when we're ready, lift the fingers up, hand, fingertips behind, thumbs in front, and massaging the ears. Breathing in. There you go. Don't worry if you feel a little bit silly. Sometimes I feel a little bit silly too. These are good for you. We're going to be doing something else now called the spinal wave breath. This is very much an important part of yoga, is the spinal health and the connections between the base of the spine and the top of the spine, which is really the crown of our head. People who know about chakras will know that we have a base chakra and we have a crown chakra. Right now, we're going to be using our fingertips again, and we're going to be massaging these areas. We're first going to be starting with the base chakra. So we're going to be bringing the fingertip to around about the tailbone area and just massage that there. At the same time as you're massaging that there, massage this area here, just under your nostrils. This area connects both the base or the sacral part of the spine with the base of the brain. And as we breathe in, and out. I'm taking my hands down, but because our brain has got two hemispheres, when we're doing something like this, we now have to repeat it using the opposite hands. So take the fingertips again to those points and massage. Breathing in. We're going to be continuing to work through those chakras again. This time we're going to be working into the solar plexus chakra, which is around about here, and the crown chakra. And this is a little bit like that game that kids play where they make circles and they pat and rub and try to do it different ways, which I can't do. So what we're doing here is we're actually gently massaging the area, either directly on it or just away from it. And we're also going to be focusing in on our breath. So again, we're going to be doing that spinal breathing. Again, we're going to be changing the hand position. So just start massaging, lift the hands away a little bit, feel the energy coming away with you. If you've ever done Tai Chi, you'll understand you can pull this energy from the body. You might be wondering why when I finish this, I lift my lower hand up to the upper hand. It is helping lift the chakra energies up. The last part of our breathing we're going to be doing is something called geometric breathing. It's where we're breathing in shapes. Now, when we're breathing in shapes, it's a little bit different from our normal in-breath and then our out-breath. And even with our normal in-breath, when we have completely inhaled, there's a tiny weeny pause, or something that's known as a still point. In yoga, we can extend this still point by holding the breath in, and we can extend the still point when we breathe out by holding the breath out. At all times in your yoga, remember the concept of ahimsa, which means to do no harm. Before you can even possibly understand how not to do harm to another being, you have to know how not to harm yourself. And something as simple as breathing. If your breath or your heartbeat starts to feel laboured or painful, then just drop it back a notch so that it's not feeling painful. Always take it to your maximum 100% before going into pain. Never override pain. Pain is your body's way of communicating with you that something that is not good for your body is happening. Listen to your body. Yoga is a journey inwards. It's where you actually spend time communing with the beautiful universe that is inside of your body. So we're going to be doing these geometrical breaths through a simple asana known as chair pose. Chair pose is like this. Chair pose, as I did it then, I did for 3 breaths. Chair pose is a beautiful symmetrical pose, which is also very good for your brain. Chair pose also brings your eyes into focus as you're putting the hands up. You focus on the hands where they are. This is in yoga called a drishti point, and often we use our eyes to stay on a stationary drishti point, or in the case of this geometric breathing, the drishti point is changing as we're making shapes. I'm going to be facing you as we do this. So if you want to practice your chair pose, you can practice it with just 3 breaths like I did then, breathing in, breathing out. However, now we're going to be doing a triangular breath. So we're going again into chair pose. Breathing in and out. Starting at the top of our triangle, breathing in. Holding it in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Holding it in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Holding it in. Breathing out. And now we're reversing it. Breathing in. Holding it in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Holding it in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Holding it in. Breathing out. The next one we're going to be doing is a square breath. That's where we're breathing in, holding it in, breathing out, holding it out. Ready with your in-breath. Hold in, out. Hold out. In, hold in, out. Hold out. In, hold in, out. Hold out. Starting from the opposite corner, breathe in, hold in, out. Hold out. Hold in, breathe in, hold in, breathe out. Hold out. Breathe in, hold in, breathe out. Hold out. The next 2 that we're going to be doing are going to be circular, and the final one is going to be a crossover. The crossover is something that you'll hear me talk about quite a bit through this Brain Yoga series. So right now we're going to do the circle breath, and then we're going to follow that immediately with the crossover. Breathe in and out. Ready to make your circle. Breathing in. And out. In. And out. In. And out. Now bringing it to the central of your crossover, we're making a figure 8. So this is the middle of the figure 8. Just breathe in and out. Now when we're ready, making our first figure 8, breathing in and out. In. And out. In. And out. We're back at the centre each time, and you'll notice my eyes are following my hands moving. This time we're going to go on we're doing a horizontal figure eight. Breathing in. And out. And in. And out. And in. And out. And we come up. The very final part of this is going to be something called a drishti or focal point. Now with your drishti or your focal point, there's several different ways you can do this. You can have a candle, and you can light the candle if you're inside and it's not in a windy place. And you can put the candle down on the floor in front of you, and you can just focus on that candle, and you can breathe in and out. The idea is that you want to keep your eyes open on the candle for as long as possible. When they can stay open no longer, they may blink a couple of little times, little quick blinks, but when they can stay open no longer, you close your eyes and you hold the image of the candle clearly in this part of your mind, in the third eye chakra. This is closely related to the pineal gland. The pineal gland is a gland that responds to meditation and to this kind of focus. So this is something that's called tratak or chataka. It's a focused meditation. It's about concentration. Whatever you're focusing on, it doesn't have to be a candle. It could be a leaf, it could be a flower, it could be a shell. It could be something directly in front of you. I'm focusing on something across the other side of my studio at the moment. It's a picture, it's a beautiful picture of a hibiscus flower. I'm going to be focusing on it, you're going to be observing me, and then you can try this for yourself. When I open my eyes, the image has faded from my mind, so I'm opening my eyes again and casting my gaze back onto, in my case, the hibiscus flower. Keep doing this for about 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes, every day, and you'll find that you're able to hold the image in your mind more and more for a longer period of time. Now I'm standing up. If you are uncomfortable closing your eyes while you're standing, then sit down. Sit in a kneeling posture or sit in a cross-legged posture. It's not particularly important. You could sit at a chair, in a chair, at a table, and you could have the item on the table in front of you. Just make sure that it's far enough away that you can see it reasonably clearly. If you do have glasses, do take your glasses off, because this is an exercise that's good for your eyes. In fact, in all of these exercises we've done with your eyes, with the drishti points moving, with the geometrical breathing and everything, don't wear glasses. I'm going to do this again for another couple of minutes, and then we're going to move on to the final practice for this part of Jane's yoga. So you can do it with me. Find something to focus on. Just look at it, keep breathing and focusing on it. Finally, we're going to be using a drishti point again because I'm focusing on a picture across the room from me. That picture is at approximately my eye height. We're going to be incorporating our breath as we do with most yoga postures. I'm going to be keeping my eyes focused on that picture, and as I breathe in and out, I'm going to be turning my head. However, my eyes are going to be looking at the picture. I'll demonstrate and then we can do it together. What you need to do is just find something that's not moving, that's at eye height away from you. So, breathing in and out. I'm keeping that in my view the whole time. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. I'm back to center again. Now I'm going to focus on that picture and I'm going to tilt my head backwards and forwards. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and I'm back to my central position. Now we want to do this seamlessly. By seamlessly I mean we're turning to the left as we're breathing in and out, turning to the right as we're breathing in and out, tilting the head back As we're breathing in and out, tilting it down. As we're breathing in and out. We're going to do this 3 times. Make sure that you feel comfortable. Maybe just rock through the feet again, feeling the feet beneath you. The feet have something like 400 different pressure points that link directly with your brain. If you can, and for the rest of this series we're going to be spending most of the time outside, walk barefoot on uneven surfaces, wearing shoes and being inside. Our feet don't get the massage that they need. These pressure points are directly connected with your brain and stimulated so that the synapses and the neurons and all the electrical stuff that's happening in your brain is going on, and it's being stimulated by what's happening. These points on the bottom of the feet are integrally related with your balance center, which is just inside here in the back of your, behind your nose area. And that area is integral to brain health. So massaging through the feet, and we're going to be doing some more asana soon, where you're going to be massaging through the feet, helps you to maintain the health of this area. You will also notice that I've got a bottle of water. You should be drinking approximately 4 to 5 of these a day. Now, I don't want to preach at you, but caffeine, sugar, alcohol and gluten are 4 things that are known not to be very healthy for your brain. Alcohol and caffeine are drugs for starters, and they really do affect the way your brain copes and manages itself, and therefore the way you behave. Gluten and sugar also cross the blood-brain barrier, and they affect the way the brain functions. So if you feel like you have brain fog, then these are 4 things that can be causing that. Water, on the other hand, helps our brain. Our brain is an electrical organ with masses of electrical things happening all of the time, and that's the way it communicates with itself. So have this handy when you're doing this kind of yoga. Always have it at room temperature so that it doesn't shock your system. In yoga we want to increase the body heat, the core heat. This is one of the reasons why many yogis are quite slender, that core heat is increased. But also the core heat helps you deal with bacteria and infections. It helps your immune system. So at all times have some water. Try to drink approximately 4 to 5 of these a day. We're going to be finishing off now with that drishti point exercise. So I hope you found something that you can focus on, and we're going to breathe in and turn to the sides first and then up and down. Don't focus too much on what the body is doing, just keep the eyes on that image as you're moving your head. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and relax. Even if you were to do none of the following asana that I'm going to be teaching, if you just did this breathing, drank your water, you would be doing wonderful things for your brain. So for now, look out for part 2. Namaste.